Elara and the Unmovable Rock of Belief. A God Candy story of wisdom. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between lush green hills and babbling streams, there stood a magnificent stone monument known as the Unmovable Rock of Belief. It was a towering structure, said to have been there since the dawn of time. No one knew who had built it or why, but it had become a symbol of unwavering belief in the village. Legend had it that anyone who touched the unmovable rock of belief would be blessed with unshakable conviction and the ability to overcome any obstacle. But only villagers who have lived through 40 winters took the risk of even approaching the rock, and only the most courageous and most self-disciplined would dare believe they could. Legend has it that anyone who touches the rock will be transformed without recognition. The villagers believed in this tale wholeheartedly, and only few had dared tread the passage to the rock. Among the villagers was a young girl named Elara, whose 16th birthday was fast approaching. She was known for her curious nature and adventurous spirit. As the day drew nearer, excitement mixed with a hint of trepidation filled her heart. She had heard tales of those who had touched the rock and gained extraordinary courage, but she wondered if she was worthy of such a blessing. The night before her birthday, Elara couldn't sleep. The moonlit sky outside her window beckoned her, and she found herself irresistibly drawn to the unmovable rock of belief. With a lantern in hand, she ventured into the darkness, guided by the stars above. Elara slipped out of her cozy cottage, the creaking of the door muffled by her gentle touch. She held the small lantern in her hand, its flickering flame casting dancing shadows on the ground. The night air was cool and carried the sweet scent of jasmine flowers blooming at night, which added an air of mystery to the journey ahead. She followed a narrow cobblestone path that led away from the village center. The path, illuminated only by the soft glow of her lantern, wound its way through ancient trees and bushes laden with dewdrops. The whispering breeze rustled the leaves, as if the forest was aware of her presence and offered its blessings. The village light soon disappeared behind her, and Elara was enveloped in the embrace of darkness. But the stars above were her steadfast companions, creating a mesmerizing tapestry of twinkling lights that guided her way. She had heard stories of travelers using the stars as their navigation, and tonight, she felt a deep connection to those explorers of old. The path grew steeper as she ascended the hillside, but Elara's determination pushed her forward. The forest thinned, revealing glimpses of the starlit sky through the canopy. The sound of a nearby stream echoed in the distance, adding a soothing rhythm to her journey. As she walked, her lantern cast flickering silhouettes on the rocks and foliage, creating a dance of light and shadows around her. Elara's heart quickened with anticipation, for she knew that soon she would reach her destination. Finally, she emerged from the forest onto an open clearing atop the hill. The unmovable rock of belief stood before her, its imposing figure silhouetted against the starry night sky. The stone monument appeared even more majestic under the celestial light, as if the stars themselves were paying homage to its presence. Elara approached the rock, feeling a mix of reverence and excitement. The surface of the stone looked weathered and rough, carrying the weight of countless years of history. Its massive form seemed rooted in the very heart of the earth, as if it had been forged by the elements themselves. She raised her hand, hesitated for a moment, and then placed her palm gently against the stone's surface. To her astonishment, the unmovable rock of belief responded to her touch. It seemed to come alive with a soft, radiant glow, illuminating the immediate surroundings and casting a warm light upon Elara's face. As Elara touched the unmovable rock of belief, she felt an immediate surge of energy coursing through her body. The rough surface of the stone seemed to come alive under her fingertips, and a soft, warm glow emanated from the monument. The world around her blurred, and she felt as if she was transported to a different realm, a realm of visions and emotions. The monument's energy enveloped her, and the world around her blurred. In that moment, she felt a profound connection to something much greater than herself, a timeless energy that had witnessed the dreams and aspirations of countless generations. As the night progressed, Elara's encounter with the unmovable rock of belief continued. She saw visions and felt emotions that transcended ordinary understanding. The monument showed her glimpses of courage and determination, of people facing adversity with unwavering faith, and achieving remarkable feats. In the depths of her mind, memories seemed to stir, but they were not her own. She saw images of people from different walks of life, each facing their own trials and tribulations. Some were artists, struggling to find their voice and express their creativity, while others were warriors, facing enemies with bravery and resilience. There were everyday individuals dealing with personal struggles, and leaders guiding their communities through difficult times. With each passing vision, Elara's heart swelled with a sense of purpose and strength. She knew that this experience was shaping her in profound ways, awakening something deep within her soul. With each vision, Elara felt a deep connection to these people. She could feel their emotions, their hopes, and their fears. The unmovable rock of belief was not just showing her stories, it was making her experience them as if they were her own. In one powerful vision, Elara saw a young woman standing on a stage, her hands trembling with nervousness. The crowd before her awaited her performance, and she held a paintbrush in her hand, ready to create art that would touch hearts. The girl hesitated, doubting her abilities, but then she remembered the strength that came from believing in oneself. With newfound determination, she began to paint, and the canvas came alive with vibrant colors and emotions. In another vision, Elara found herself on a battlefield, surrounded by warriors who were outnumbered and exhausted. The leader, a seasoned warrior, raised his sword and shouted a rallying cry, infusing his comrades with the courage to press forward. Elara felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders, but he stood tall, unyielding in his faith that they could overcome the odds. Tears welled up in Elara's eyes as she experienced the struggles and triumphs of these individuals. She realized that the unmovable rock of belief was showing her not only the moments of victory but also the moments of doubt and vulnerability that led to those triumphs. It was teaching her that true strength came not from being fearless but from embracing fear and doubts, and still finding the courage to move forward. As the night wore on, the visions became more personal, reflecting Elara's own dreams and aspirations. She saw herself helping her village in times of need, standing up for those who couldn't stand up for themselves, and bringing joy and hope to those around her. The unmovable rock of belief seemed to be imparting a lesson to Elara. The true power of faith lies in believing in oneself, in embracing the journey, and in finding strength in the face of uncertainty. It was not a magical blessing that bestowed supernatural abilities, but rather a reminder of the potential that resided within every individual. When the softness of the first ray of light came around, the visions began to fade, and the warmth from the rock subsided. Elara felt a sense of fulfillment and gratitude for the experience she had undergone. She knew that the unmovable rock of belief had gifted her something precious, a profound understanding of the human spirit and the realization that she held within herself the strength to overcome any obstacle. Elara started to make her way back home, feeling transformed beyond recognition, invigorated and enlightened. The legend is right. The story is true. She is completely different now. But she knew that her journey had just begun and that she would face challenges along the way, but she was no longer afraid. The unmovable rock of belief had bestowed upon her the gift of unyielding self-belief. As she descended the hill and made her way back to the village, the stars above still shimmered brightly, guiding her home. Elara felt a deep sense of peace and purpose, knowing that she now carried the essence of the unmovable rock of belief within her heart, an unyielding belief in herself and the courage to follow her dreams, no matter how challenging the path ahead may be. In the village, the belief that only those who had lived through 40 winters could touch the unmovable rock of belief had become deeply ingrained over the generations. However, Elara's encounter with the monument had shattered this long-held belief. She knew that age was not a prerequisite for belief, and she felt a profound responsibility to share this newfound understanding with her fellow villagers. The morning after her encounter with the unmovable rock of belief, Elara couldn't contain her excitement. As the village stirred to life, she gathered the villagers near the central square. Their curious gazes met hers, and a hushed anticipation filled the air. With her heart pounding, Elara stepped forward and began to recount her experience. She described the visions she had seen, the emotions she had felt, and the profound realization that faith and belief knew no boundaries of age. She spoke passionately about how the monument had shown her the power of embracing one's dreams and facing challenges with unwavering conviction. The villagers listened intently, some with skepticism, others with hope. It was not an easy task to challenge a tradition that had been held for so long, but Elara's sincerity and the conviction in her voice began to sway hearts. One elderly woman, who had been the keeper of the village's ancient stories, spoke up, "But child, the tales of our ancestors have always told us that only those with 40 winters could touch the unmovable rock of belief. Are you suggesting that our forefathers were wrong?" Elara replied respectfully, "I do not doubt the wisdom of our ancestors, but I believe that the unmovable rock of belief has shown me a deeper truth. It is not about how many years we have lived, but about the strength we carry within us. Age does not define our ability to believe in ourselves and achieve greatness." A young man in the crowd spoke next, "But can we be sure? How do we know your experience wasn't just a one-time exception?" Elara smiled, understanding their skepticism. She then shared her vision of the young artist on the stage, of the brave warrior on the battlefield, and of the ordinary individuals facing their own struggles. She explained how the unmovable rock of belief had shown her the journeys of people from all walks of life, not just those who had experienced 40 winters. She continued, "I believe the unmovable rock of belief is a reflection of what lies within us. It shows us that we all have the potential for greatness and courage, regardless of age. The power to believe in oneself resides in the heart, not in the number of years we have lived." Elara's words resonated deeply with many of the villagers. The spark of doubt in their eyes began to transform into a glimmer of hope. The realization that age was not a barrier to self-belief started to spread through the crowd. In the following days and weeks, the village experienced a transformation. People from all age groups started to believe in their dreams and themselves. The young found courage to pursue their passions, and the elderly discovered renewed purpose and enthusiasm in life. It was a testament to the power of belief and the ripple effect that a single revelation could have on an entire community. The unmovable rock of belief became a symbol of unity and shared aspirations. It was no longer a place reserved for the older villagers, it became a gathering spot for everyone, a place where people sought inspiration, shared their dreams, and supported one another in their journeys. Elara's act of courage had sparked a chain reaction, redefining the way the villagers perceived themselves and each other. The village flourished, not because of some magical blessing, but because they had discovered that true strength came from within, a belief in themselves and in the power of community. Word of her experience spread throughout the valley to other villages, and soon, other young people began to visit the monument. Each one had a unique encounter, reflecting their individual hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Some saw visions of artistic triumphs, others saw acts of great compassion and kindness, and a few saw themselves as leaders inspiring change in their community. Over time, the unmovable rock of belief became more than just a symbol, it became a gathering place for the villagers. They would come together to share their stories, inspire one another, and celebrate the diverse tapestry of dreams that the rock revealed. As the years passed, Elara grew into a remarkable leader, guided not only by her own dreams but also by the collective wisdom of her village. She led her people with empathy and strength, using her unmovable belief to unite them during difficult times. The legend of the unmovable rock of belief lived on, not as a tale of a mystical stone but as a testament to the power of belief in oneself and the strength that comes from embracing one's dreams with an unwavering heart. And so, the story of the unmovable rock of belief evolved into a tale of how a young girl had challenged tradition and, in doing so, had awakened a profound realization that the power of belief could be embraced by anyone, regardless of age. The village became a place where dreams were nurtured, self-belief was celebrated, and the unmovable rock of belief stood as a symbol of the enduring spirit of the human heart.